let's try to love. What is love? According to Bossuet, love is an intoxication, and indeed, even a single face can make us forget the whole world. A handshake or a caress from the one we love means more than the praise of all humanity. According to Mom, the love is attunement to each other. Feeling together is like speaking in every language. The greatest gift of love is its power to open our eyes to gentle and tranquil truths, allowing us to see and admire in one person, granting to love in one being that what we could neither love nor admire in 1,000 more. That is why it is such a great gift in life to be loved by someone. For there are so few who love us simply for who we truly are. People must be loved with their faults, otherwise no one could be loved. It's all too easy to love those who are sweet, witty, kind, who live on the other side of the world. Love thy neighbors, and cherish those whoever lives under the same roof with you. For it is they whom you must learn to hold dear. The always dissatisfied, the know-it-alls, the stubborn persons, people woven from thorns, who never find harmony with others, the ones who are always nervous. These are the ones you have to love. After all, in goodness we should not seek utility, but beauty. Those who only love those who deserve it don't know what love is. It's so nice when you have someone who thinks of you, who watches over your every steps, and it's how good it is when your smile is answered by another's own. Some people like to be sick because that's the only way they get a crumb of compassion. Yes, the heart is so thirsty that it says, I'm not asking you to love me, just let yourself be loved. We are so thirsty for love that it doesn't even hurt if someone loves us for our money. There is no happier feeling than having someone who belongs to us. For everyone, there is a heart we cherished above all, and we whispering, oh, let me never lose this one. That's why every little scratch hurts deathly, inflicted by the one we love so deeply. Since we are at different levels of awakening and consciousness, because if someone stands on a mountaintop, they can see the landscape better than someone at the bottom of the mountain or someone from the road, so we will have enemies also, it cannot be otherwise. A strong, brave, a person who is not destined for mediocrity cannot go through life without having enemies. Even Hesiodо already said, the potter hates the potter, the beggar hates the beggar, man is a wolf to man. Even brotherhood does not exclude hatred, for Cain killed Abel, Jacob deprived Esau of his birthright, and Joseph was sold by his brothers. To walk the paths of truth throughout a lifetime without ever causing offense to others, scarcely a possibility. Either way, we must love our enemies too, because we need them too, for it is they who reveal to us the frail sides of our character. However, there are people who are unable to forgive and instead suffer. The measure of a true person is, who cannot hate, even if hear the voice in it heart. Isn't this a weakness? My dear friend, what joy do you find in you are angry and you unwilling to reconcile? After all, in time, all anger will turn to peace. What if you started making peace right now? The person you are angry with will be happy too, if you offer a hand of peace. For every righteous man rejoices when he has one less enemy on earth. It takes two people to have an argument, but often one is enough to reconcile, who starts. There are things that should be left behind, and let the grass grow over them, what must be forgotten. Some things need to be let go so time can heal them. Not only to forgive, but also to forget, because in forgiveness, without forgetting, a thorn remains. There are people who echo back the very words that are shouted at them. There are people who are selflessly kind to one, yet devious to another. There are those who were not created to understand or love others. There are people who always revolve around the word, I. It is often heard from people's mouths the statement, it's not worth being good, or I'm fed up with people and completely disillusioned with them. Yes, hearts plundered bare have often sighed beneath the stars. Was it worth being good? Was it worth the sacrifice? The devotion? Yes, indeed, is it worth living so long in vain, if we have been so little capable of being good? Only those who have become incapable of love can fear the darkness of life. The poet is that says, the hand is only meant to be held. To let it go is a sin. To push it away is a curse. Hands that intertwine holds the heavens and the world together. Let us not grow weary of loving. Let's not turn into stone. For it is compassion that allows us to remain human. One must rise in love to the heights of joy, in goodness, all the way to devotion, and let's not forget, it is a very easy, yet vulgar thing to hate the sinners. Let's not accept that people today are not like they used to be. People in the past were the same as they are now. Neither no exceptionally good nor exceptionally bad, ergo moderately good and moderately bad. Most people are made up of two contradictory parts. If you have already encountered hearts drowning in the mud of misery, then you know it's not true that the poor are ungrateful, even if they seem apathetic. They are still grateful for the kind words, the kindness, the smile. How can we expect a heart that has never received sunlight be full of with goodness and tenderness? Half of life, and the more beautiful half, remains hidden from the person who has not loved with passion. Perhaps the greatest gift that heaven bestows upon us during our earthly life is the ability to love. According to Herder, the most magical word in the human dictionary. For you, without love, even the sky is a desert, says Lamartine. Love carves an angel out of a person, because even the worst can be good to someone. If one can do good with someone, he atones for something from his sins. In addition, everyone carries a great sorrow in their heart, and this sorrow may be the pain of a heart wounded through love. For often, it is those we love most stubbornly, those who have the special ability to cause us pain. We are all more sensitive to those we love. That's why they can hurt us more painfully than our enemies. No one loves the same, and the rarest thing in life, for someone to approach another with as much understanding and love as they need. There are tyrants and slaves of love. It is often a peculiar tragedy that those we love have greater power over our souls than we do ourselves. That is why it is necessary, at times, to turn to our reason and listen to its quiet counsel. In life, we often see that even good people hurt each other. We often see families whose members would be willing to die for each other, but among themselves they are undisciplined, vulgar, and not kind to each other. Also, Strindberg refers to the peculiar state of mind he calls the hatred of closeness, which prevents us from being kind to those we love. And unfortunately, people today live alongside each other with increasing indifference. Those who travel across the world in mere hours on the wings of airplanes, crossing seas and oceans, cannot traverse the few meters of road that lead from one heart to another. What is the value of loving culture, progress, and art if one does not love their fellow human being? Unfortunately, the mass sufferings of recent years has so dulled people's compassion for misery that something must be done to rekindle this sentiment. There is still a part of the world that has no idea from what and how the other lives. There are those who walk with such calm upon the sunlit side of life. They know so little of the sufferings of others that a dark drama must unfold to awaken them and cast light upon the terrible misery of those who dwell in the dull shadow. Those who, even if they don't have this year's fashionable clothes, still have clothes. Who, even if their salaries have been reduced, still have a salary. Who still have a fire burning in their stove. Remember that it live in enviable abundance in the eyes of those who they haven't seen 100 pennies together for years, who don't know what a warm room is, who don't even dare to dream of a new suit, whose Lazarus dinner is bread scraped from the garbage. Therefore, let us not grow weary in extending our help to others. Everyone has a big family. The poor, the cross-bearers, the abandoned ones. Those whose lives stretch from free bread to a free coffin, who, despite all their struggles for 40 to 50 years, could not break out of the chalk circle that poverty had drawn around their cradle. Saint Vincent once said, "Let both your hands be right hands." These beautiful words can be found in the Quran. Whoever strokes the head of an orphan will receive a ray of light on the day of resurrection for every strand of hair their hand has touched. We may not get anything back from people for the love we spend on them, however. None of this should be a sufficient reason to allow ourselves to become disillusioned with love. Let us not forget that people, even the dullest of them, thirst for love. Therefore, let us offer them love, even if we must battle the towering waves of reason's resistance. Without the sunlight of love, no can truly live. Every heart needs a heart that leans over it and covers it with care. Love is the manna of the heart, and love does not fade even when souls will soar from stars to stars. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. Philippi 4:8